Hello folks, Bronco Bob here with Texas Best Used Motorcycles right here in beautiful Mansfield, Texas. I'm here today to show you a really cool 1951 Chevrolet Coupe. It's had a lot of custom work done to it. Excuse me, the previous owner owned the car for over 17 years, an older gentleman down in South Texas. Starting from the rear of the car, you can see the dual exhaust exiting below the aluminum bumper. The tail lights have been Frenched in. The gas filler cap is inside the trunk. And the trunk, you'll notice, has not been finished out. It needs a mat and maybe some of that trunk spray. The rear deck lid is fiberglass. And there's no moldings. It's just got these little rubber hoses and there's no hinge. So when you close it, you basically put this down. You set it down like that. And there you have it. Going down the side of the car, it's got the real cool powder-coated red rims with the old dog dish chrome hubcaps. You'll notice the door handles are missing because to open the door, you pull up on the antenna. That pops the door open on both sides. So if you want to open the door from the inside, you have to roll the window down and pull the antenna. The dash is finished out absolutely beautiful. It's a glossy red. And this guy was a gauge nut, because you can see it's got water temperature. Everything works except for the speedometer. The fuel gauge works. It's got a vacuum gauge, oil pressure, voltmeter, transmission temperature, a clock, and an amp meter. But it's really finished out nice. It's an automatic transmission, and that's your shifter. It's basically an old manual type shifter. The tachometer works. And this motor is a 383 stroker, puts out about 400 horsepower. It has a gear drive cam setup, and you can hear it whine when you're going. It's got some pretty low gears. It's also got some traction bars. It's got roller rockers, Edelbrock valve covers, and it will absolutely get it. When you mash the pedal, it will smoke the tires. It's got a nice aluminum Griffin radiator with an electric fan, so the motor runs real cool. It's got ram air intake, cold air on both sides. It's got a later model front end. I believe it's a Mustang 2, but I'm not positive. But it has power rack and pinion steering, disc brakes. Notice there's no fender liners. It's all open, kind of bare bones. The headlights are also Frenched in. And you old hot rod guys know what that's all about, but it gives it such a good classic look. The paint is kind of a silver metal flake. I'll call it a driver quality. I mean, you could drive it into a cruise night and you'll turn heads, but the paint is not show quality. There's several flaws and blemishes. If you get to looking at it real close, you can see some dry places that need to be buffed, like up here on the roof. There's some bubbles right here on these little seams. There's a few places where it's bubbling up. But let's start it up. The windshield in this 51 typically came with a two-piece windshield with a strut that went right up the middle. And this is an Oldsmobile windshield, and it's a one-piece. Part of the custom features of the car. Again, pull the antenna. This is a business coupe. There's no back seat. You can see they've got like a carpeted storage area where you can hide illegal immigrants in the back, or you could deliver pizza. But it's a nice old school bench seat car. Let's start it up and I'll let you hear it. It doesn't sound real radical. It sounds good. But when you basically got to turn the key on, that's your cooling fan and that's your starter button. This motor wraps real quick. It must be geared pretty low, and I think it has a Positrack, because it will absolutely roast both of these little radial tires. And it's just got some dual Dynaflow mufflers. If it had some Flowmasters, it'd even sound better. And on the back window it says, yes, it's fast, and no, you can't drive it. But this car really has the hot rod feel, because when you give it the gas, it will fly. Also, with the rack and pinion steering and the disc brakes, it actually drives pretty good. It's pretty civil. The Griffin radiator does its job up front to keep it cool. Just a clean, sanitary, fun car. The only thing I don't like is the hood has a release right here. You notice this bar I've got there, that holds the hood up if you go to car shows. But basically you have to latch the hood on the rear, and then you got to also latch it up here on the front. There's the release right there for the rear. See that little knob? And then there's another one to release the front. But it's a cool old car. Certainly not perfect. It's a 1951. It's got some good modifications. You can see the bubbles on that trim looking down that side right there. It says Nifty 50s Cruisers on the little sticker there. But if you're looking for a fun little hot rod that actually drives good, this is a good one. You can see all your gauges, battery, volts, amps and volts, oil pressure, tachometer. Listen how fast that motor revs. It's like an instant throttle response. Pretty amazing. When I got in this car and gave it the gas the first time, the back end was all over the road. It was just sliding around, but it does have traction bars, which helps it immensely. Again, the car is far from perfect, but it's really very good. It's a lot of fun, and you can take it to the next level, or you can drive it around and just enjoy it. 1951 Chevrolet Coupe. I like how they customized the front end. The grill's a little different, the bumper's a little different, but the disc brakes, the rack and pinion, the manual door pulling the antenna is cool. It's just overall a neat little car. You can see the taillights, how they're Frenched in. But thanks for looking, thanks for your time. I'm sorry this video took so long. There's a lot to talk about on this car. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you in our showroom soon. This is Bronco Bob wishing you happy trails.